Oh, yes, okay. I love what you've done with the place.
Thanks, my guy.
Yeah.
But I still gotta show you the third floor.
Okay, send me on up.
That's where the action happens, man. Now, Sarah calls this the panic room.
The panic room?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, I didn't know that you were a doomsday prepper.
Oh, no, I'm not. It's just where I watch my football games.
Right. Oh, snap, who's playing?
Wait. No, did he get picked? No way!
Yeah, oof.
Yo, what are you doing? Get him!
Oh, my.
Are you seeing this?
Yep, I'm seeing it, yeah.
Oh, please, somebody tackle him!
Oh.
He's running to the end. Oh,
Okay.
no! Oh,
Wow.
I can't breathe.
Oh, boy.
I can't breathe.
Where's Sarah? Sarah!
AT&T Fiber with All-Fi covers your whole house, even your aptly named panic room. Get AT&T Fiber with All-Fi and live like a gagillionaire.
Limited availability. Coverage requires AT&T Wi-Fi extenders at additional charge.
Whether you're looking to build a website for your business, your hobby, your podcast, or just for fun, Pair Networks is your go-to web hosting partner. Not only do we have the lowest domain price in the industry, starting at just $11, we've got hundreds of stunning website templates to help you stand out from the crowd. You're not a techie? Not a problem. With our easy DIY site builders, you can launch your impressive website without any technical know-how. And when it comes to security and updates, don't worry, we've got you covered. Our 24/7 US-based customer support is the best in the industry. Check out Pair.com today to learn more. PAIR.com.
All right, before we get started today, I got to give a big shout out to Andrew Jones, the newest of our Patreon subscribers. So much love and respect to Andy Jones. If you are interested in supporting the show, you can go to patreon.com/bigtruth and get more information there. There's 4 different levels of patronage, and they all come with their own exclusive benefits. And we got a lot of stuff planned this year, exclusive just for our patron subscribers. So check it out there, patreon.com/bigtruth. Now, on top of that, I said in the past that I was going to start shouting out people that leave reviews and whatnot on the podcast. So I'm going to make good on that. I got to pull these up. I'm not prepared. I need a show producer to help me with this shit. But Brodo's a 512. Big shout out for leaving a 5-star review on Apple, the Apple Podcast app. Also going out to Spara Oi Boy 83. Thank you for representing, and Nardi 8051. Shout out to you too. Thank all you for leaving some 5-star reviews. That really helps the show get out to more people. So wherever you're listening to this, if you like the show, make sure you subscribe, leave reviews. If you can type in a review, that's great. If not, just leave stars or whatever it is on, I know it's different on different apps, but wherever you listen to this, leave a review and make sure you hit subscribe and spread the word to your friends, family, on social media, whatnot. Let's get this thing going and growing. Now, if you need vintage or modern motorcycle parts or riding apparel or leather gear or knives and whatnot, you need to check out Old Bike Barn over at oldbikebarn.com or on Instagram at Old Bike Barn. They got whatever you need. The website is broken up in very easy to use way. They got a section just for cafe racers, a section for choppers and all kinds of shit like that. But the thing that's really good about them is that they have parts for your old Japanese bike. And, like my shop, we're purely Harley and we do some Triumph stuff. There's not a lot of places that have a lot of aftermarket or stock replacement parts for old Japanese bikes. And a lot of guys are building XS650 and Honda CB choppers and cafe races and customs or even just riding them stock. So check out Old Bike Barn if you need stuff like that. If you happen to have any issues with like sleeping or inflammation, tore muscle or something at the gym, took some long rides on a hardtail and your back's all jacked up, you just got insomnia or fucking anxiety or whatnot, you need to check out some CBD oil. It will work wonders for you. And I know there's so much CBD on the market now, and a lot of it's garbage and bullshit. Don't go to your fucking local bodega or your local fucking gas station and buy some bullshit CBD off the counter. You don't know what you're getting. Go to Crater Lake Clear over at craterlakeclear.com. Super pure, organic, some of the best CBD oil out there, manufactured to the strictest specifications, using only the highest quality ingredients. Go check out craterlakeclear.com for their On their website, they got information about how their CBD is made, and they got information about all the different types of CBD they offer. So check them out, cradlelakeclear.com. Use the promo code BigTruth at checkout to get a big chunk off your order. Now, same goes for your pets. Sometimes pets are a little nippy or anxious, or you got a skittish little dog or something. My dog Freya's skittish. My boy Grim, my German Shepherd, he's got some back issues. You need to go to vetcs.com. Now, VetCS makes the best CBD oil for pets on the market. They make them for cats. They got formulations for dogs, and they got formulations for horses. So check them out, vetcs.com. Again, only the most quality stuff will I stand behind and shout out here on the show. They were founded by a veterinarian and also a vet tech out in Colorado. Only the most purest ingredients and the strictest manufacturing processes. They got fucking killer packaging too. Shit's like fucking legit. So check them out, vetcs.com. Use the promo code BigTruth at checkout. Get a big chunk off your order there too. Big discounts. Summer's here. You need some tank tops. Some shorts, some bullshit. Like you got all winter bullshit. You need to get some summer bullshit. You need to check out omertamia.com, the most legit, authentic street brand there is out there. There's a lot of culture vultures out there. Being dyslexic today. A lot of culture vultures out there. A lot of bullshit people that are profiteering off our worlds. These dudes are legit. Been in the game for 20-something years, 30-something years. The brothers of mine. As real as it gets, go check them out, omertamia.com. On Instagram and social media, simply at omertamia. Use the promo code BigTruth at checkout to get 20% off your order there. If you're still looking for more clothing, but you're a little off kilter, you're into like weird shit like the occult. Last time I said playing Black Sabbath records backwards, looking for secret messages, conspiracy shit, into cults, serial killers, but you're also into rad shit like choppers. Well, all of it's rad actually, but you're into like choppers and show vans and boogie vans and 70s psychedelia and stuff. You need to check out my man Zach Doom's company, Heavy, over at heavy.bigcartel.com. Zach's also a silent producer on the show. It works with me a little bit behind the scenes. It's my man. So check them out, heavy.bigcartel.com. On Instagram, simply at Heavy Clothing. If you ride motorcycles and you happen to be in the unfortunate situation where you find yourself in an accident, you need to check out Law Tigers over at lawtigers.com. They are a motorcycle law firm founded by riders for riders, and they only represent motorcycle accident cases. So I hope you never need that one. But, you got that in your pocket if some bullshit happens. Too many distracted drivers out there on the road smashing into people, rear-ending fucking dudes on bikes and gals on bikes. So protect yourself. Make sure you get what you need, out of these motherfuckers if they hit you being careless. So lawtigers.com. If you go to Facebook and type in Law Tigers plus your state, you can get in touch with your local office. And also, if you're looking just for more general information on motorcycles, motorcycle riding, fucking events, fucking building choppers or custom bikes or whatnot, you need to go to ChopCult over at ChopCult.com, the biggest online message board and information resource out there for motorcycles. If you go to their message board, it's divided by topic, by type of motorcycle, by, American motorcycles, British motorcycles, Japanese motorcycles, choppers, custom, stockers, cafes, whatever, all kinds of shit on there. But some of the best features are they got an online events page where you can find out about motorcycle-related events all across the world, broken up by date and location, and an online swap meet where you can buy, sell, trade, barter parts. So check it out, chopcult.com. Membership is absolutely free on every social media, simply at ChopCult. If you happen to still be looking for some motorcycle parts or some swag or apparel or riding gear or whatnot, you need to check out my shop, Chopperhead. Support us over here at chopperhead.com, ChopPahead. We're a full-service brick and mortar motorcycle shop. We're not just some online dude operating out of his basement or some fucking storage unit or some shit. So whether you need an oil change, or a full motorcycle, full custom chopper built, anything in between, we do speed work, motor rebuilds, anything you need. Full service Harley motorcycle shop. Check us out, 13 County Road, East Freetown, Massachusetts. Give us a call, 508-995-6764. We got a showroom. We got a parts counter. and a big shop in the back. So whatever you need, we got you. If you need parts and you don't see it on our website, because I am going to admit one of my weaknesses is I haven't developed a awesome website with a bunch of parts on it. Just, there's a bunch of stuff on there, but we have access to way more stuff. So we're pretty much set up with everybody. So if you need something, check us out at chopperhead.com or give us a call. For more information on the podcast, just check us out, bigtruthpodcast.com. Everything's up there, all the episodes. And again, don't forget to share, like, subscribe, leave reviews. And I'll shout you out if you leave some good reviews. Well, even if you leave bad reviews, I don't care. Just leave some words on there and help us pop up in the algorithms a little bit more. All right, without further ado, let's get into today's episode right now.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have a liftoff.
Yeah, once again, we have liftoff. I want to thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Big Truth Podcast. And I got live in studio. We used to do it from the third lift at Chopperhead, but now we don't have room to have a third lift, so a little table set up in between the lifts. I got my man Rob from the Crazy Gentleman Podcast. What's happening, bud?
Nothing, man. No government names here. No.
My man Sledge from the Crazy Gentleman Podcast. Sledgehammer, you might know him as. What's happening, man? So you're in town for the mini bike massacre that happened last night.
That's right.
How'd that go, man?
It's fucking complete madness, man.
I know, it was a good time.
It's fucking 1,000 retards on mini bikes just fucking hammering,
Pretty much. I got there a little late because of I had to work here, you know what I mean? And it's Saturdays are big days in the summer, so it's hard to miss days at the shop. But I rolled through after, and it was still, I think the racing was done, but
Yeah, by the time you got there, yeah.
The general chaos was still happening.
Yeah, and honestly, after the racing is when the real chaos happens.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. It gets a decent turnout too of
I'm tightening my mic. Squeaky mic, yeah. No, dude, that turnout was ridiculous, man. I'm like, I wish that many people would show up to like motorcycle events. He's like, all you gotta do is put mini bikes and then fucking 2,000 fucking Swamp Yankees show up.
Yeah, I kind of have a chip on my shoulder about that too.
Yeah.
I think about the same thing because I'm thinking about starting my own event, but I want it to be true to form, choppers, hot rods, that kind of thing.
There's a ton of choppers there, just all scattered in the back, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean? And whatnot. It was a good time though, like.
But it's true, man. It's a big fucking size event. And to do an event that big with just, I don't know, man. I guess it's, I don't know how to fucking
The good
think
thing
of it.
is that it's on private property.
Yeah.
All that, like, it's a good setup, man. It was a good setup.
Yeah.
I just got to have a talk with Coleman and talk a little bit about the bands. Be like, dude, you gotta step up these bands, bro. What the fuck? I was like, we were just laughing. And then, dude,
we were calling it karaoke hour. It just felt like karaoke the whole time. The last band was good. You were gone by the time.
I think, yeah, I was gone.
It was a pretty good band. I don't know how to describe them, but the way I at least they were very professional. It felt like a professional band was up there.
So I'm not I'm not saying anything about the professionality of the other bands. It was just like, it's just like it was some shit you go see at a bar on like a fucking Wednesday night at like one of those like bro bars or something.
It felt very pop culture-y.
Yeah. And it was just, we were just laughing. The only thing we were laughing because we were at Cheney's booth. And I don't know if it's just because of where we were sitting, but this one band had the saxophone player, but it sounded like a fucking kazoo. And it didn't even sound like a sax. We were like, damn, dude, I'm getting up there with a fucking kazoo. But I think for the crowd, an event, you got to kind of cater to your crowd. And I think for the crowd, those bands worked.
Yeah. It's funny too, because speaking of the crowd, as rowdy as it was, and it was a good time or whatever, but I said to my girlfriend, I felt like I was back in the car scene. I'm so used to the motorcycle scene where it's fucking chaos,
Yeah.
Which is what I love.
Yeah.
It made me feel like I was at a car event again, where it was like a softer crowd, and even during the day there was kids there and shit,
which is good, man. But because things can be a gateway. Like you can have the same event have two different faces to it. The daytime crowd and the nighttime.
Yeah.
You know, which is good. You get, because you want to get kids wrapped in from a young age, and this shit's imprints in kids' heads when they're young. Be like, oh shit, we used to go to these things and there's people racing around, fucking going crazy, jumping in fucking fire pits and blah, blah, blah. And because you want to bring kids up, right? You know, but any event, I think, where you have like thousands of people drinking, fucking racing and doing dumb shit all day, and there's like no violence, no fights, like, you know.
There was a few fights.
Oh, was there?
Oh, yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah.
Must have been after I left or before
late,
I was
yeah,
there.
late night. It got a little silly.
Yeah, well, you know, all right. Well, yeah. I mean, when people have been day drinking into night and it's been 100 degrees out and the sun's, you know what I mean? Shit happens. But yeah, but you know, it's, you know, that seemed like a real successful event, man. Shout out to them.
Very successful.
And if you're anywhere,
you do got to lighten certain things up if you're gonna pull those numbers and you're gonna pull the kids in and all that shit. So, yeah, I mean that's just my stubborn ass speaking.
Yeah,
you know?
of course. But if you're anywhere in the New England area next June, check out the Mini Bike Massacre. Bring your kids. It's a good time.
Oh fuck yeah. This year was my first year, but I don't ever want to miss one. Like,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, I wish I could have been there all day and to help Cheney pace himself a little better. Fucking, I got there. Cheney was already fucking rocked. But yeah, man. You know, we helped sponsor it, and you know, and glad to be part of it. But I wish I could have been there earlier. They're gonna do it on a Sunday next year, man. Fucking. Well, I know because of the camp out and everything.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
makes sense. You know what I mean? But yeah, so fucking. You host the Crazy Gentleman podcast. I think you started just a little bit before.
We started the same week. Me and you started the same week. Yeah,
we were talking about it. It was cool, man. And we were so we were podcast colleagues starting at the same time, but veterans of the motorcycle scene that do this for some fucking reason. But what started you? Because you know, I know we've talked offline, and you know we help each other with like technical stuff and just podcast support shit. But like, what was the impetus for you to want to start doing a podcast? Oh, actually, tell people a little bit more about your history. Because I know you from the motorcycle scene from a long time. You know, you in the Northeast is a tight little scene. It was a tight little scene. It's grown, and we'll talk about this too. But it's grown
changed.
to a point where I used to know any dude on a chopper. Like I knew him, you probably knew him. And now there's like, I'll see a kid ride by on a sports chopper, they don't even stop.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, the fuck is one? Who are you? First off, and two, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you see a motorcycle shop called Chopper Head, you know, because we're massholes. And you wouldn't stop at a motorcycle shop that caters to you.
Right.
It's a weird world. Like, young dudes are a little bit bizarre, man. And I'm not being a cranky old man when I say that. It's just literally, it's different from how we came up, you know?
It's definitely different, man. I feel like, I think I'm right about this, but it's like, if you're not winning the popularity contest on a social media platform now, it's like, you know, younger generation don't really give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
You know, in a sense. I mean, that's pretty harshly put, but
No.
But
I get that.
I was the same way, dude. Like, when the way me and you met through Nick, I was doing bikes out of my house, and then I eventually got a shop and all that. And I used to say, dude, any bike I would see in the county, you know, if I was at a red light or whatever, I'd fucking know all the bikes, dude.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know anybody anymore. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
it's
you know,
crazy. It's
I know a lot more other people outside of that area now, but it's like, yeah, I feel like I drifted away too in my local scene, you know?
And it's weird because I know more people nationally than I do like in fucking New England now. You know what I mean? It's like,
That's the transition I made too.
Yeah,
is like,
yeah.
I know more people spread out now.
Yeah.
But
Which is
locally, I drifted away. you
yeah.
know?
And, you know, I don't know. I figured having a focal point, you know, and dudes do to get together, and it's cool. Like, they're, you know, and I'm glad that there's a lot of young blood coming in, but, you know, the only thing I don't like is, because we're pretty old school, like, you know, just an approach to life, like not even talking about bike shit or whatever, you know.
I think the bike scene is a reflection of what's going on in the world. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I will go on record, and I don't care how you know, if I'm not trying to alienate anyone, but if I do alienate you, then fuck you. You probably don't belong in this shit. You know what I mean? And you know, we're pretty easy to roll with and have a good time with. But when people don't like when you step up and handle shit and get down when you gotta, and guess what, dude? Like, as long as I'm in this world, that's how I'm operating. And if you like it, come on board. And if you don't, I don't give a fuck, man. And try and fucking ban me or fucking whatever they call it now. Not silence you. What are they doing? They try and
cancel
shit.
culture.
Cancel me. I don't give a fuck, dude. I don't do anything that's cancel worthy. I don't think. But like, you know, I'll fucking toss hands when I gotta fucking or verbally correct someone when I gotta. And people get too butthurt about that shit nowadays. And it's like, sorry, dude, get thicker skin. I don't care if you're a dude or a girl and you're gonna be in this world. Like, fuck you. This is the last bastion of like freedom and fucking, you know, like old school, like I can still operate on like a handshake deal. And if you can't, I'm going to fuck you up. You know what I mean? Because I'm done. Like I've gotten burnt too many times because like my word is bond. If me and you have a deal and it's a handshake deal, I don't need paperwork or agreements and whatever. I got burned a couple times, man, by people that are flaky. And that's the way this world is. And I'm like, oh no, whatever, it's no big deal. Blah, blah,
people
blah.
brush
it
off now.
Nah, fuck you, dude. No, that shit ain't right. Like
I blame the social media platforms for a lot
absolutely.
of it. Because I mean, you just sit there like a keyboard warrior and fucking these people don't even outside of like the fact that you say something silly, you could get fucking hit.
Yeah.
Even outside of that, man, like just interacting with people these days is so much fucking different. Like
it's weird.
The face-to-face interaction. People don't know how to fucking hold I don't know, I don't want to say a fast-paced conversation, but like they're not used to the response right in front of their face, you know, especially if it don't agree with them.
Yeah,
you know, people just generally don't like the truth these days.
No.
They want to live in their own bubble.
Yeah. And,
you know?
and everything I just said is with the caveat that I'm a very respectful person.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I'm not out there being an asshole. Like, you know, I'm very respectful, but I just expect it back. And,
Right.
And nowadays people don't give a fuck about like respect or honor or like fucking any of that shit. And it's just sad, man. I never expect it from like the general population. But in the worlds that I've operated in that have traditionally been that way, like, you know, like whether it's the hardcore punk rock scene or the motorcycle, specifically the chopper scene, because the chopper scene's always been like the bastard child subset of like the general motorcycle scene.
Yeah.
And then the fucking, you know, even like the tattoo world, like it's all been infiltrated by like mainstream motherfuckers. And then they're like, most of them are tourists and fucking engaging in like fucking a year of cosplay and then they're fucking gone.
Right.
But like, I'm just not down with that shit. Like I'm a lifer in all this shit. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm going to try and hold the traditional values of this shit, and whether it's cool or not, I mean, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if this is the cool shop or not. This is the get down shop. Like, come in, we're going to take care of you, be respectful. We're going to give you full good service and attention and fucking not fuck up your bike and stand behind our work. But, you know, you come in and be an asshole, you're going to get treated like a fucking asshole. Like, you know what I mean? And some people don't like that. It's sadder when like there's more honor in like the regular like bro bike culture than there is in the chopper culture, dude. You know what I mean? It's like there's dudes on baggers that get it now more than fucking these fucking kids on their fucking choppers. You know
I don't even want to give the bagger world that much credit.
No, I don't either. I'm not giving like I don't know how, you know
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
I mean, it's just sad.
Yeah.
It's just sad when it's like I don't have as much in common bike style wise as some people, but like mentality wise, like there's like more like kind of old school ethic in just like the general bike population now than there is like the fucking little chopper world, man.
Yeah.
Not everywhere, you know what I mean?
The one positive thing I'll say about the chopper world is, in terms of some of the builders, man, the fucking skill level is fucking
it's phenomenal.
Like it's insane.
You know what I equate it to is like everything builds up. So someone getting into it now is getting into it at a higher level. Like when we were kids, like did you skateboard?
Yeah. That's where all that started. Yeah.
So when I was a kid, I used to skate. But I'm old enough where, you know, ollies and shit like that were like the new trick.
Yeah. Doing a kickflip was like fucking holy shit.
That was like, oh, you
had to work so hard for that.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's like the first thing a kid learns now. It's like nothing. And then they've advanced it so far. That's the same with the chopper shit. Like I like more traditional mid-60s style choppers.
Right.
And there's only so much you can do in that world, but like that's always going to be a classic thing. But I see things like the dude like from Vintage Technologies and shit.
Oh,
that dude's a fucking mad scientist. Like the shit he's doing, because he's doing shit that still looks rad, but it's so technologically and the machine work is like so advanced.
It's crazy.
It's fucking bananas.
Dude, I was hanging out with him. I'm not going to say it, but I'm telling you right now, dude, he's going to be putting a bike together that's going to like, it's topping even what he's done. I was talking to him about it at Mama Tried. It's fucking outrageous.
Yeah, no, he's a good dude.
That guy's
too.
Outrageous, man.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a good, nice, humble dude you can talk with, and he's not like fucking weird or anything. Like, you know. But I think going back to what we were saying is so many people that grew up in an age with social media and stuff. Like we still grew up in a time where, you know, before internet or before cell phones and this, like, you know, so we know how to relate to people more.
Right.
People that not only that, 90% of their dealings with people is online and text and fucking messages. It's face to face is weird because you notice like me and you are talking, we're looking at each other in the eye, and it's not weird. It's not like challenging. It's like you respect. Half these motherfuckers can't even look you in the eye when they talk anymore. They're looking down and stuff. They give you this fucking limp fucking dead fish handshake, and it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know,
it's just not going in a good direction.
No, but it will. I think, you know what? I think everything gets to a point, it breaks down, and then I think it rebuilds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm down to fucking raise this shit to the fucking ground and then let it rebuild. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit, man. But like I was telling you yesterday, like, I don't give a fuck anymore, man. Like, you know, like,
I know, man.
I don't give a fuck, you know? But, so let's talk about the podcast before I don't want this to be like a slam session on fucking motorcycle culture, but, you know, all this is with the caveat is if it seems like I'm bitching and stuff, it's because I love this shit so much. Right. I take shit personally when it's not treated with the same love and respect that I have for it.
Yeah, that's what I always say too. It's something that I got to hit the brakes on myself a lot.
Yeah.
I got to stop taking it too personal.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, you're only going to change so much of it. Like it is what it is, man. You know.
And like I said, I'm not trying to change shit. I'm just trying to keep it like how it was, like what I fell in love with.
Right.
And you know, that's all. You know, if your panties are all in a bunch about what we're talking about, you know, relax, fucking get a little fucking.
They probably stopped listening.
Get a leaf blower, blow the sand out of your fucking between your legs, and fucking relax. You know what I mean? But you know, that said, so what made you want to start a podcast, and how'd you go about starting that?
Oh man, it's almost not. I kind of always wanted to. But people always told me that I should. You know, it's almost like I do all this traveling on motorcycles, like all these fucking events. I've been doing it since how I met you. You know, fucking probably over 15 years now. It's like I've been living this life for all this time, and I haven't been doing anything with it besides you know, building and whatever, you know. But yeah, just that people are like, you should have a fucking show. You should have a show. This is before podcasts were even a thing.
Yeah.
And it was like, what the fuck am I going to sign with fucking MTV or something? What do I look like, dude? Fucking. So anyways, the podcast thing came about, and I like it because it's like we were talking before. It's like you're the pirate of an internet at this point. Like it's a wide open world. It's this new world with no fucking rules, you know?
Yeah, unregulated.
Say what you want. Do what you want.
And then when it does get regulated, because you can kind of see it kind of going that way, and then when big media companies start getting interested in it, they're going to stranglehold it and bottleneck it, and then we'll just find the next shit. You know what I mean? Because that's what we do. Fucking go back underground and figure out the next step, you know?
I think the big corporate claws are already trying to get their fucking fingers in it, you know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But it's still wild and free, you know?
Yeah.
So it's cool, you know, if you could just fucking be a degenerate, set up a mic, and people enjoy it, you know?
Yes.
I'm into it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And so, where have you been recently, or what do you got? You got anything planned as far as trip wise?
Yeah,
so I know you're bouncing all over the place. Like.
Yeah, so recently I just put a Sportster together, like a dirt bike style Sportster.
Oh, you did that ride on the BDR ride?
Yeah, with a whole bunch of guys.
Gigastat,
yeah, Tim put it together from Gigastat. Yeah. So we all built dirt bike style Sportsters for that ride.
Talk more about that ride, because that was interesting. I was jealous of that when I saw it kind of going on. I was like, damn, dude, that looked like fun.
It was awesome.
I talked to Tim a little bit about it. He goes, yeah, they didn't really say how advanced that ride really was going to be. He's like, they kind of he goes, the people from BDR kind of downplayed the level of skill that you kind of needed on that ride.
It beat you up, dude. It was fucking tough, but it was cool. It was tough enough for us to, you know, like midweek we were just like, let's fucking just ride some good roads and, you know, not be dead at the end of the day, so we could fucking get fucked up and party at night at the hotel and shit.
So for those that don't know, so Tim from Gigastat organized a ride for people to make off-road versions of Sportsters to go on the BDR. And what does the BDR stand for? I can't remember what it stands for.
back road discovery routes.
Something like, yeah.
It's something discovery route.
Yeah, if you go to BDR's
Backcountry
website,
discovery?
yeah, something like that,
Yeah.
and they have these trails that are these off-road rides all over the country, and there's one in the Northeast. You said it starts right near your house, right?
The north, yeah, we did the Mid-Atlantic one from like Tennessee to Pennsylvania.
Okay.
The Northeast one starts at my place upstate New York and runs into Maine.
Yeah. Okay.
And then there's one out west. I'll get back to the out west one. I'm kind of sidetracking. We built these bikes. We did this ride. It was fucking awesome. Blah, blah. I wound up getting hit on my way home. I was 20 minutes from home, and my bike
it's always right when you're
right,
on
yeah.
right when you're like within like 10 miles of your house.
Yeah. I was fucking 20 minutes away. So my bike is fucking thrashed right now.
And you got a broken toe out of it, right?
Yeah, broken toe and a torn meniscus in my knee. And I'm hoping as long as the frame ain't fucked up, the rest of the bike I'll fix pretty quick.
Yeah.
And a lot of it I'll just leave rashed up and whatever. It's a fucking dirt bike, dude.
Yeah.
So anyways.
This is going to happen again, like, on the dirt probably.
100%. It was halfway there from the week with Tim.
Yeah.
So, so what my next plan is, we're going to go to Sturgis. That bike will be in Sturgis. Hopefully. I'm just saying. As long as the fucking frame's not thrashed. Because it's slammed pretty good.
Yeah.
The swing arm is bent. I mean, it's fucking... It's
but as long as the frame is... the
frame is good.
Front frame section, you swing arm's nothing.
Yeah. It just scares me that, for a swing arm and a fucking wheel and rotor to bend that bad, I'm like, I don't know. We'll find out. But either way.
You might want to sandblast that thing, look for cracks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see, man. But either way, the plan is to bring that thing to Sturgis. We're going to fucking hang out in Sturgis all week. It's going to be my first time in Sturgis, too, so I'm kind of excited about that. And then from Sturgis, we're going for a 3-week trip on the BDR that they just opened up from Sturgis through Wyoming and Colorado.
That's all mountains and shit, too.
Oh, it's going to be fucking crazy. Yeah.
I think Danger Dan told me he did the Colorado.
He did,
and he said he was... And just seeing the video from it's fucking amazing, yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
They just opened up the Wyoming one like maybe 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
Just this year it opened. So that's our plan is from Sturgis to be pretty much off-road all the way to my friend's house in Durango.
Yeah.
That's like the next biggie I got coming up.
So doing off-road trip on the Sportster on that part of the BDR, the one the Mid-Atlantic one, walk people through a little bit, because I'm sure people are interested in it. Like, what was that ride like, and what it like consist of? Like, what was like the average day like?
Okay, the average day was for us. It was kickstands up at 9. Gas up, and you'd basically ride like a mile on the road, and you're in the woods.
Yeah.
You're in. It's like you're dirt biking all day, but on a fucking Sportster.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. It's a weird
top
feeling.
heavy. Yeah.
It's strange, man. But it was fun as fucking hell, man. It made me feel like a kid again,
Yeah.
You're riding through the woods, and what we would do, because there was 15 of us, when we got to like a major turn or a major crossing, which was about anywhere from 15 minutes to about an hour, we would wait for everyone. Make sure everyone's fucking not fucked up or not missing the turn, really, the biggie. And it was like, you'd ride for about 15 minutes to an hour, fucking hang out with your friends, and wait for everyone. I was always like the first, second, or third guy. Like, the faster people went up front. So I was always hanging out at these stops for a while. So it was fucking awesome, dude. It was like a combination of dirt biking and riding on a trip with a lot of old school choppers, because you got to stop a lot with the small tanks and shit,
How did you guys fill up with it? Was there plenty of like opportunity? Like, so you just had to bring a bunch of gas?
We brought gas bottles, and gassing up was weird, man. You're not burning that much in the woods, but
because just average speed can't be between like 15 and 30 miles an hour or something.
Yeah. There was a few times I had the speedo on my phone, as a speedometer. There was a few times I was ripping it up to like 40.
Yeah.
Your average speed, I would say, is most of the day 15 to 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, because it's
you're in the fucking woods, dude.
Yeah. There's no, and you're not on a fucking proper dirt bike. You're on a Sportster converted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's something it's fucked up too, because you got to kind of keep that in mind. Like, you could get lost in your head and you start ripping, and all of us wrecked,
Yeah.
You don't think of it until it's too late, and you're like, oh fuck, I'm on a Sportster.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker goes down hard. You know.
Even you're gonna go down on a dirt bike too.
You are.
but dirt bike doesn't go down as hard.
Yeah, and dude, after you lifting your bike up a few times a day, you're not lifting a dirt bike either, so that sucks.
Yeah.
It was a workout. Physically, I was fucking hammered by the end of the week, man.
Yeah.
I mean, getting hit by a van when I was almost home was not my plan.
No. So like the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
So how long? What was like the average day? Like how long did you guys ride? And how many like? What was the total mileage like?
The miles would vary from like less than 100 to a couple hundred a day.
Yeah. Oh, I mean like overall, like how long was the?
Overall, I don't even really know because I don't have I don't have any gauges. You know.
I didn't know if there was like, all right, this trip is this long or whatever.
I don't know. I mean, just from home to the Tennessee border, just running the highways, just to zip down there was like 700 and something miles.
Yeah.
So I don't know, probably 1,000 miles on the way back because you're just zigzagging through woods and shit, you know?
Even 700 miles on the highway on a Sportster it'll beat you up.
Yeah. It was the whole thing was awesome though, and the average days were like 8-hour days. We were basically 9 to 5, give or take a couple hours every day. You know,
that's cool.
And then that was the other thing with that trip. Like we usually do a lot of camping, but we knew that trip would be so dirty and physical.
You needed bed and a shower. Yeah,
hotels every night.
Yeah,
which was awesome too, because you know how this is when you're traveling with a bunch of guys. The party at the hotel is the best fucking part every night.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
Especially back in the smokeout days, I didn't even, no disrespect. Like, obviously I did, but we didn't care as much about the event as just the hotel party afterwards. Like, we'd get rowdy in the.
We were kind of the same way because even like halfway through a lot of the days, some guys were like, fuck it, I'm just going to hit the back roads. Some guys, you know, a lot of bikes were breaking, you're going down and shit. So some guys were just splitting off like, oh, I found a local shop, I'm going to go get some parts or whatever. One guy needed a clutch and. You know?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I would assume that at least one clutch is going to go on that.
Yeah. So it was like a lot of the days too were broken up. I don't think there was a single day where everyone finished. You know, It was more like that was the other cool part about the hotel because everyone meets back at the hotel and talking about what the fucking day was like for everyone else was a little different. You know,
and then thrashing on bikes to get them ready for the next day. And
So the hotels were awesome.
What was the hairiest part of the ride, or what were some of the more hairier parts of the ride?
Basically, the further north we got, the ride got a little easier because, like I said too, by the end of the week we were just like, "Fuck it, let's hit some roads," you know.
Yeah.
But the further south you are, the more mountainous it is. So basically, that'd be I would sum it up like that. Like the more south you are. It starts off down south as hard as it's going to get, you know, because you're basically like at the foothills of the Smoky Mountains at that point.
Yeah.
You know, and the Smokies are fucking twice the size of anything, even upstate New York or whatever.
Sure,
it's pretty big mountains for the east, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would describe it like that. We got lucky too, man. It was pretty dry for us.
Yeah.
And even dry, like it was very dry. We were still hitting some pretty big like mud holes and having fun, you know?
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. You know, I would highly recommend it.
Yeah. Tim told me about one bike that went off a cliff.
Oh yeah.
Rider not on it, luckily, but.
But he just missed the cliff. Like he was like sitting on the edge of the cliff and just watching his bike go.
Yeah. Tim was like, it took like 4 dudes to go down there and get it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I was right. I was right behind him. I was third. He was second in line at that point.
What happened? He just missed the turn.
He just came in too hot, and that was another part of the terrain. There was some days where you were just on. It just felt like you were on golf balls all day. It was just these pebbly rocks, dude. And like sand and shit, and it was fucking.
So you're just squirrely all day. Yeah.
All day, yeah. And
those are the days you got a good upper body workout.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
Holding the bike up.
Yeah. Right after he went down too, like 100 yards later, after we got him up and everything. I immediately went down. You know? It's like, it took like 6 of us to get that thing up the fucking mountain again.
Oh, what a fucking nightmare.
But he just came into the turn way too hot. And
was the bike all right?
Like a fucking miracle. The bike was a little scuffed up,
but like he could ride it out.
Yeah.
Good thing, man. Because what do you do if something's if you're totally broke down and you're in the middle of that shit? Like
you're fucked.
You got to push
know?
it. There's nothing else you can do. No one's coming to get it.
No, and that was another thing too. If anyone's going to do any of these BDRs, we didn't even have cell service. Even most nights at the hotel,
Yeah.
the only way we got service was Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
You're basically, I mean, you're really in the woods, just out of service the whole fucking time.
It's got to be beautiful though to be so out of contact.
Fuck yeah.
Even if you wanted to though, you couldn't. You know what I mean? So it's great.
Yeah, I did get a heads up about that, and like for me, I was in heaven. Like for me, fuck the phone. You know, I tell you what, man, I knew we'd be with so many guys. I didn't even do shit to prepare for it. I mean, I did nothing. I finished building my bike the night before we left.
Yeah.
I fired it up like 9:30 that night, and we were out the next day. I didn't even have time to look at the fucking route. I didn't look at shit, dude. I was like, fuck it, I'll be with enough people. I knew I'd be out of service, but I was like, I don't fuck it, man. I'll just follow people. You know, whatever. Just go with the flow. So I'd basically kiss the world goodbye, like before I even left, you know?
Yeah, fuck yeah. That kind of leads into the next question I was gonna ask anyway. But you just said what you did to prepare, but now that you've gone through it, like what would you do to prepare for a ride like that? Like if someone was thinking about doing BDR like on a sports store or even an adventure bike, what do you think, like what lessons did you learn and like what would you do different next time as far as preparation or what you would bring or, you know, shit like that?
Well, my bike was the only bike that didn't break down, didn't break anything. I didn't turn a screw the whole time.
Yeah.
And in terms of preparation, I brought an extra brake lever, an extra clutch lever.
Yeah.
A couple silly little like extra parts, you know. I put all fold up pegs, including the shifter and everything on my bike, like a proper dirt bike.
Yeah.
So even when my bike went down, I didn't break stuff like that. But I would say bring an extra shifter if you got like traditional Harley stuff, you know, that could just snap.
Yeah.
My bike had spokes, so I brought an extra tube. I would say bring some tire spoons. I don't know.
If you're gonna do a spoon, if you're gonna do a tube, you're gonna need those spoons.
Yeah. And I don't know, like toolkit wise, man, I say every bike needs a different toolkit. Like figure out what your bike needs. That's up to you. Figure it out.
What about just gear wise, like outside of like
some guys got a little silly, man. You know,
Power Ranger suits and shit.
Yeah. Me personally, I wore Carhartt overalls and a t-shirt and my fucking regular like, you know, desert style boots. You know, that's all I did, you know. But like I've been dirt biking and all that shit my whole life, so for me, I'm like I'm not making a big fucking deal of this. You know, I'm just doing it. But you could get as wild as you want. I'm not going to talk anyone out of fucking.
No.
I'm not saying do what I did. I'm just saying what I did. You could get as crazy as you want, but you really don't have to. Even if you're going to wear a lot of gear, like I get it, to protective gear and all that shit. I think that where that would stop is like you don't need to fucking wear motocross boots, you know, or anything like that. Just a decent set of boots will be fine. Bring a lot of socks because you're going to get wet and fucking muddy all day, you know?
Yeah, and there's nothing worse than fucking wet foot, dude. Swampy foot, dude. Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm like cringing thinking about it because, you know, you've been there, you know.
Yeah, I'm a swampy fuck right now, dude.
Yeah.
I just washed my hands in the bathroom. It was the first time I washed my hands all weekend, dude.
Oh, yeah? Well,
I've
you've
been at
camping
Gomer's
out.
just like a gross fucking pig, dude.
Did you stay in the house or did you bring a tent? Yeah.
No, I was in, Amy has that fucking van all set up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I was staying in her van.
Yeah, perfect.
But no, I'm gonna shower back at the house later today. But I'm just a gross pig, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're used to that.
And that's the other thing.
Motorcycle
I'm
vagabond life, right?
Yeah, I'm more used to being a greaseball, so it's like some people aren't, you know. Even like a friend of mine, we went hunting in Colorado last year, and to me, it was like luxury to come. My friend in Durango, he rides too. That's who we're ending the trip with after Sturgis. And like we were staying in and out of his house and in and out of his camper and shit. And my friend that I was with was like, this is as dirty as I can get, you know, like this is as rugged as it could be. I'm like, dude, this is fucking luxury. Like for me, that shit was easy breezy, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. You just got to know your own limits, you know? How low can you live, you know?
Yeah. And you got to just go with the flow and adapt to the situation, man. Like, great, you know?
Yeah. That's another thing too. Just good, solid motorcycle advice is like, dude, if you're a planner, if you're like an anxious person, like you got to let all that shit go. You know, like nothing.
Especially if you're riding in a group anywhere, because no matter what you plan, some bullshit's going to happen. Some shit's going to go wrong. Someone's going to get lost. Something's going to break. Something's going to fucking happen and derail everything. Like,
yeah,
I know it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny too, because some people get mad because they're like, I don't plan for shit. Like if I have a big trip like next week, I'm like, oh, whatever. Like the night before, I'm like, all right, throw some shit in the bag. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you know when you're doing this or that? No, I'll figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's weird because in every aspect of my life, I'm so busy all the time, like, and I got to plan shit out. But like with that shit, I'm like, whatever, dude. Travel, I'm like the worst. I'm like the worst. Like,
the only thing that I do always make sure is my bikes are tight and proper.
Oh, yeah,
Like I said, I was the only one who didn't turn a screw on their bike.
Yeah.
Like I make sure my machine is fucking proper.
Yeah. It
Me,
sucks.
I like you said, I could throw shit in a bag 2 hours before we're leaving and I'm out. you know?
Exactly. It sucks to be the guy that's holding everybody up.
Yeah.
And broken down.
Yeah.
And I was that guy the last trip we did to Arizona. And that's it's my gripe. I'm going to bring up the Pan America story again. I'm with all these, all brothers of mine. We're on this ride, and it's a memorial ride from my boy that passed. And fucking dudes are on knuckleheads, on panheads, on fucking shovelheads, and diners, this, everything, right? And I'm the only guy on like a 2021 bike, and it's the 2021 bike that has fucking computer glitches that there's nothing you can fucking do about. This is the only bike that was down. I was like, motherfucker. And I brought it out there because I was like, yeah, I want to rip this thing through the fucking desert. We're riding from Arizona into Nevada. I was like, it's going to be fucking great.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's the only reason why I brought that. I would have brought something else. Like I would have brought my shovel head and been fine, or my fucking night train or something, you know, but all right. So fuck you, Harley.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you and your computers. And now, by no means, I loved that Pan Am for the 400 miles that it actually drove.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I loved it, but I just had the computer glitchy one, that's all. You know?
Yeah. Well, you know, that's the other thing too. Like,
And you can't fix a
that's not
computer
your
on the side
fault.
of the road.
You can't fix it.
Yeah.
There's fucking guys that I refuse to even go away with anymore. Or if I am going away with you and I see something fucked up, like, I mean, the easiest obvious thing is like, dude, don't fucking leave for a road trip with no tread on your tires. Or some guys, I mean, they'll be like, well, I could just get a tire in a couple days. I'm like, dude, here's the deal. I'll leave with you right now. But when shit goes south, I'll usually stick with. I don't like leaving people. But with shit like that, if things go south, I'm like, fuck you, dude. That you knew that shit. I'm not hanging around for that shit.
If you're on a rigid and someone didn't go around and do like a Titan check before they leave,
Something
like, I
silly
don't want to
like
get hit
that.
with some shit flying off your bike, bro. Like, you know, like, oh, your bike's leaking oil. Ride in the back, dude. Don't be fucking spy huntering everybody fucking with oil slicks and shit. Fucking, I'm fucking black covered in oil because your bike's leaking from the primary or something. You know what I mean? Or wherever. You know, it's like, yeah, dude. Yeah, this turned into like a road trip etiquette fucking show. Like all of a sudden, but yeah.
Yeah, dude, because it is fucking different when you're not going around the block or you're not fucking going half an hour away local, you know? It's like, dude, if we're fucking leaving for a week or we're going to fucking Mexico or California and we're going to be on the road for a month.
Don't be the liability, man.
Yeah. Like, don't be fucking retarded, dude. I get it when
there's a time and place to be retarded and to be a liability. It's not on the road.
Right.
It's when you stopped for the night. Then you can, then go ahead. You know what I mean?
Then break into that mini golf course.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Then whatever. Yeah. Just make sure your bike's not a liability.
Yeah. Yeah, that's some good road trip advice. Try and find a fucking hotel with a mini golf course. And
how many of those are there, though? You know what I mean? More than you think, yeah.
Thursday night on that trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking good times, dude.
Yeah, just bring a golf ball. Doesn't take up much room in your saddlebag, you know, or whatever,
dude,
or your pack,
fucking,
or your fucking backpack.
They fucking left them right in a bin right there, and clubs out.
Yeah, you can fucking make anything a club. And just fucking keep the ball in your pocket, man, ready to roll. Then you know, it's also a good driver's education tool. Like if someone's fucking close, you just toss the ball. I like spark plugs personally because it'll shatter a window.
Right.
And there's more deniability. I don't know, officer, that fucking spark plug, dude. It must have fell out of my pocket. I don't know. I keep it on the road with me in case something happens. in case my bike, you know.
Yeah.
Blows up. Yeah. Whatever. But yeah, man. So. Bringing it back to the podcast before we get to the rails, but no, you know what? That BDR, man, I was jealous of that. Like, I forgot where I was at one of the shows with Tim, and he was talking about it before it happened, and I was like, damn, that sounds like such a good time. It's so hard for me to get a week or two out of work, though. You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy right now.
Yeah.
But
we're already planning next year, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You should fucking hit them up if you're available next year.
Yeah.
It's a good.
I gotta stop making the time for shit, man, because I'm not getting younger and fucking shit.
Yeah.
Can't work every day. Yeah. Well, even though you got it. Everyone thinks owning a business is fucking awesome. It's not. fucking sucks.
Yeah, yeah.
But unless you're so successful that you don't need to be there and fucking whatever. But
That's not in the motorcycle industry though.
no, and the world is not getting like just the current climate of the country. Like middle class is getting squeezed. Like never before.
Bad.
Like bad. It's like escalating pretty fucking quick, man.
Yeah.
Not to get on a shower fucking
Yeah,
serious
I know.
note, but fuck, man, it's crazy, dude. Every day I'm like, oh, I'm just waiting for this shit to fucking collapse.
Yeah. I can't even believe that we haven't seen a fucking huge collapse yet.
I know
mean,
it's coming, man.
Like
It's got
where,
there's no, you know,
I don't know where it's gonna stop.
some shit
but-
changes. Unless some shit changes, rich are getting richer, poor staying the same, and the middle class is shrinking and going down into the rung below. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like at an unprecedented rate. Over that thing with that thing called COVID that shut the country down for 2 years.
Yeah.
There was an unprecedented transfer of wealth like never before seen in history. And it, you know, transfer of wealth away from the middle class to the super elite, the, you know, 1% or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And
The conflict of interest to think that most of that wasn't a fucking financial fucking power move.
yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
That was some hardcore fucking chess. And
Yeah.
we're fucking pawns in that game. So don't get it twisted and think any different, you know?
Yeah.
You know, but whatever. So podcast, man, what made you, you know, you kind of talked about like people were kind of prodding you. It was the same with me. Like people were like, you should do a show. You should do a podcast. My whole recollection, I didn't really know what a podcast was because I never listened to them. I thought it was like one dude sitting at a mic and ranting for like an hour. I was like,
could be.
I know. And I know a lot are,
Yeah.
but that was like what I perceived as one to be. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I can't.
Right.
I was like, if you leave me alone with a mic for an hour, I am just going to alienate everybody and ruin everything for myself. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, I can't even do that. But
Yeah.
I didn't realize you could do this type of shit, like interview shit. And I'm like, I'm down with that for sure.
Well, the interview thing is one of them. I've always been fascinated with two things: stand-up comedy and interviews.
Yeah.
Like that's just like I don't really watch TV. I haven't had a TV in my house in fucking over 10 years.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've always been into that. And I hung out with
stand-up comedians have some of the best podcasts going, you know, like Bill Burr and shit. Like, and he's the one that'll do the rants, but that's what he does for comedy. He fucking rants. That's why he's a fucking masshole, and it's fucking good.
completely.
You know?
Do you listen the two best fucking alone ranters? Do you listen to Tim Dillon also?
No, I've heard that's good though.
Dude, that motherfucker. You want to talk about funny, angry rants?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the guy.
So the problem is that it's too loud in here to listen to podcasts during the workday.
Yep.
I only really listen to podcasts when I'm driving around. So
Same here.
I don't get as much because I'm not on as many road trips as I used to. So I'm not traveling as much every day as I used to. So I don't get as much time to listen to.
Yeah.
Things. But that's on my list. Tim Dillon's been on my list. I just got to pull the trigger and hit subscribe so that some of they're ready to roll.
Yeah, dude, you'll fucking love him.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So the real trigger that sparked it, I always had this idea in my head. You're one of them too. Like even a long time ago when I was thinking this, even though I never told you this, I always figured, why can't people just have fucking shows and them be the fucking thing, or like, or for the most part, like just them be the. Why can't you have a show that's just kind of like what involves your interests and your life and whatever, which is now it's a fucking old concept because everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
But I had always thought that, you know, and thinking about guys like you, I've always thought like, why the fuck can't Truth just have a show that's just about him or whatever, you know?
I'm not that interested to do a show about. Believe me, and we've been approached by every one of those fucking reality TV show companies. And we're like, nah.
Well, dude, you could have done it successfully. The problem is they want to fucking tell you what to do.
Oh, that's what I just
you're
got
gonna
hit up
sell
on.
your soul.
Yeah,
you know?
I just got hit up by one the other day, and it's like one of the ones from like the two brothers that like flip houses. It's some TV show, and their production company. Have you ever thought? Have you ever been approached? I'm like, yeah. And I listed all the ones, and I'm like, and they all like us for who we are and what we do. But then when they comes to making a show, they want to change who we are and what we do. So I'm like, I don't even need to talk to you if that's your plan. And then I never heard back, and I'm like, all right, fuck you, dude. Like,
Right. Yeah.
That's why I do the Chop Ed TV thing. It's like, that's our thing. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. But so what was kind of like the kind of give people a kind of synopsis of like, you know, like the 3-sentence, like what is your show, like the focus and what is your show about? I mean, I know because I've listened to it. But.
The show is basically about like most of them, just my interests, cars, motorcycles, interesting people that I meet, you know.
Yeah.
And it's no, I don't know, no real theme, but it is mostly motorcycles and tattoo artists and shit like that, you know.
Just
it's
American
similar to yours.
subculture shit.
Yeah. But the real spark, I was hanging out one night in New York City with Johnny Knoxville and his cousin. And I think it was the next day or 2 days.
Jackass Johnny Knoxville?
Yeah,
okay.
like the Johnny Knoxville.
Yep.
And I told my friend about it. I was like, we had such a good time last night, blah, blah, blah. And that was when I was like, you know what? You really should stop wasting these fucking opportunities. And really just do something.
Yeah.
And I think a week later, I met Amy. And the night I met her, I told her, yeah, I'm going to start a podcast, this and that. She's like, what's it going to be about? And I basically was like, I don't know, my fucking life. I don't fucking know. She didn't know me.
People I run into, yeah.
You know, we had just met that night. And then, I don't know, then I just started it. And every now and then, whatever the fuck I'm doing, I'll just hit the record button. You know?
Like when you came out and we did one, that was fun. You know what I mean? I like how see, the thing is, like with this is like kind of like you're beholden to this.
Right.
But I feel like I want to get a good mobile setup as well, like how you do it. So you can go anywhere, have that shit in your backpack and just be able to record and still have it be decent quality.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
And that's the thing, like with my
like
setup, it has to be mobile.
And Dan too,
has to be mobile.
Yeah. I did Dan's and it was in Austin. It was like, I was hungover. It was like 7 a.m. He's knocking on the door and he's like, come on. And he's like down and he's like set up and we just put lav mics on and fucking did it.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy, you know?
Yeah. And that's the one thing that I am going to step up to this year is the mics.
Yeah.
And that's why I bought my recorder. It has the,
you have the Zoom?
Yeah.
Zoom.
Yeah. It's a Zoom H4. Dan has an H6. But it's the same. What's the style right here? The fuck do they call it? Something with a J. That style connector.
Yeah.
It's the same ones on your machine. I forgot what they fucking call it.
Yeah.
But this mobile recorder, that's why I bought the better mobile recorder, because I could put the professional mics in it.
Yeah.
Whereas most of them, you kind of can't.
So, and not to bore people with this podcast tech talk, but it's important to me. Did you find a good mic that's portable that uses this type of connector? That's what I was having trouble finding. I was like, because I was looking at the Zooms too.
Yeah.
And the H4 and the H6. So I was like, that's a perfect mobile setup. But like, I couldn't find mics that were small. Like these mics plug right in, but you're not going to put 2 of these in your backpack. It's going to take up the whole, and they're not, you know what I mean? But like, I was looking for a good lav mic that had the same like RCA connector or whatever you call that.
There's a fucking name for it. It's a universal. That's like the quality audio connector.
Yeah, the mic connector. Yeah.
There's probably like 6 guys listening right now that are like ready to pull their head out.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking know
fucking
what it
assholes.
is.
You guys have podcasts with multiple episodes and you don't even know what the fuck the name of this shit is.
Yeah.
But that's what we do. Like, it doesn't matter. I don't need to know the names. We just need to make it work for what we want to do.
That's it. So so my plan with the microphones is like to buy quality ones like this when I am in an environment, like, or if someone's at my house and I'm recording it. But Dan, what he does, and this is what I'm going to do, is he just uses lapel mics.
Yeah, the lav
mics. Because they're
yeah.
tiny. Oh, that's what you meant by lab mic? Yeah, that's what he does.
Lapel, lavalier, it's the same thing. I think. Someone's going to say, no, they're not. But, you know, it's the little mic that clips on your fucking shirt.
Yeah, I mean, fuck you.
But I couldn't find something like that had these connectors, because that's a big fucking beefy connector. But I'm sure there is. You know what I mean? I forgot what Dan used. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, he does some sort of a lapel, and the audio quality is fucking killer. I mean, it's definitely a step up from what I do, is just set the recorder in front of us.
Yeah.
I've lost a lot of episodes. Like, if you're outdoors, like, I got this thing, I call it the Don King head. It looks like Don King's fucking head.
And it's got
goes
like
over the mics.
The windscreen thing.
Yeah, but sometimes I forget it, and it fucking, dude, it ruins some
episodes. It makes a big difference.
I did a killer one up in Buffalo, New York, and it fucking just got ruined.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem with mobile shit. Like, and you can't, like right now, we can put these headphones on and we monitor it and we know it sounds good, but like you can't do that. Like,
none of that
when you're out, you know.
No.
You just got to look at the lines and be like, all right, it looks like that it's in it's in the zone that it needs to be in, you know, on the thing.
Yeah.
But that's the good thing, is those little recorders have that, so you can see that it's quality.
And that's all I'm flying by is that sound level thing, and that's it.
But you're not hearing if there's wind interference or some shit.
No.
That's, you know, but you know, what's been, and it's cool. Like, that's what I like about your podcast, is you don't know, you kind of know the general theme, so you know it's. You know, and that's like, I think with mine, it's like, you know, it's going to either be a motorcycle person, a punk rock person, or like someone like some weird fucking some
astrologist
weird
or something.
Yeah, or like it's going to be someone weird, because that's what I'm into. I'm into fucking motorcycles, punk rock, and weird shit. So
Yeah.
that's what's going to be on her. Or it's like you, it's going to be a comedian, a fucking bike dude, or just some random fucking interesting person. Like,
Yeah. I always say, like, you know, there is no particular hardline theme,
Yeah.
you know? Dude, if you like it, listen 1 week. If you don't, then fucking don't listen.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Give me a couple weeks. There'll be someone you like, you know?
But the biggest win to me is if you can have a consistent podcast, and yours does this, where something you don't even think you're going to be interested in, you put it on, and then you're like, oh, I'm glad I fucking listened to that.
Yeah, man.
And I was like, shit, I didn't even think I was going to be interested. And that was like one of the best episodes
Dude,
I ever heard.
you know what my biggest fucking episode has been? My friend Sarah owns a candy company down in Nashville.
Yeah.
Dude, fucking everybody loves her.
Yeah.
And she's, you know, I met her through motorcycles. She rides and shit, but like the whole episode was just us getting fucked up at her kitchen island.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was the most listened to, the best fucking episode.
Yeah.
People fucking love it to this day. They still
Because it was probably just organic and popped. you
Yeah,
know, and
that's it, man.
There was no struggle. Or,
yeah. It was just pop the bottle and fucking hit record. You
Yeah.
know?
And who doesn't like fucking candy except diabetics? They still like candy, they just can't have it.
That's it, man.
But fucking, you know, that's universal. And that's what I've learned in life, man. Like, we're into such small subcultures that have such a limited audience. You do some bullshit like that, and I'm not saying it bullshit like, you
No,
know what
I know,
mean, you
I know.
what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
not saying
yeah.
it derogatory. I call my shit bullshit, you know. But you do some shit that's like general, like, who doesn't fucking like candy? You're going to get way more listeners because
That's
they're
it.
fucking cool. You know what I mean? And it's like, if it's a cool person doing rad shit, and it doesn't matter what it is, you know
That's
what I mean?
it, man.
It's
You know what I do like about yours is I'm kind of a fucking UFO kind of. I'm way into the extraterrestrial life. There's fucking no doubt there's other shit out there. I would like to have someone that's fucking into some weird fucking extraterrestrial shit. I got a guy I'm going to record with tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know him. This guy Toe Cutter.
Yeah, I know Toe Cutter.
Yeah, dude. Has he ever told you about his fucking abduction story?
No.
I can't fucking wait to get into it, dude.
Oh, man. Oh, dude, I wish we were doing that one jointly. So I know Toe Cutter well. He's a local legendary character in the motorcycle scene out here. But he's also got connections to all the other shit. Like,
Such a weird dude,
so
man.
his cousin is one of the original bass players in this band, Trouble, which is like one of the biggest stoner doom metal bands that's been out since the 70s. And my buddy, you know Bobby Goodtimes.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
the band he's in now out of Chicago.
No
And so
shit.
Toe Cutter will come by, he's like, look at all these old flyers and all this old shit. Like, he's got their contracts from when they signed to like Metal Blade Records and shit. He's got all this crazy shit.
So that's the other cool thing. He fucking keeps records, diaries,
everything.
everything, dude. Yeah.
And this dude, like, he'll show up in like an old fucking Land Rover, Land Cruiser, or whatever it is.
Yeah, he's got that old
But he's
Land
got
Rover.
he's got like World War II planes. He's got like mad fucking
Yup.
crazy shit. He's just he's like a typical mad scientist genius dude that like is just into motor shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Right before I left here, I heard he's got a plane at his place. I've never been to his place, but I'm going
he
later.
He does a party. You should come out when he does his party. It's fucking bananas. Dude.
Oh, fuck yeah.
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 He's got a little museum at his house. Like, yes, you'll see. You'll
Yeah,
see.
I can't wait.
Hit me up tomorrow. Let me know what he thought about it. You know what I mean? His house. And he's a fucking rad dude too. And he's one of those invaluable, like older dudes that's like a straight character that grew up in a time where, you know, things were more free and he just does not give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's into rad shit and he's been around a long time and he's a good resource and it's like, you know what I mean? And it's good. I'm glad you're talking to him and documenting shit, but I can't wait to hear this UFO shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I just recently met him, and obviously he ain't getting any younger.
Yeah.
And that's like...
He's still out there, man. He's at everything we do. Like he's out there. You know what I mean? He's still rocking and rolling though. You know.
Yeah, I'm fucking pumped to meet the guy.
Yeah.
But I'm even more pumped to hit
He
the
was there
record
yesterday.
button.
He was there yesterday.
At the shop here?
No, he was at the show.
Oh, yeah, we were hanging yesterday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He was hammered. He was.
Yeah.
I saw him. He was riding around with a fucking tree stump on his head or something. Like.
Yeah, he's got that hollowed out log.
Yeah. But
Yep.
yeah, that's exactly it. But yeah,
I mean, not for nothing, too. A name like Toe Cutter.
Yeah.
You know that motherfucker's got stories.
oh yeah. But yeah, man, I do plan to get some more alien shit. But what I like is I've only had like 2 episodes, I think, with that. But one of the guys was like a naval intelligence officer. Like he was like legit. I don't know if you heard that one. This is Matt. I can't remember his last name. He had wrote a book, and that one's fucking crazy. I'll resend that one to you. And then the Chris Pittman one, he's the dude from Ancient Aliens and shit. He lives right down the road.
Dude,
Like,
that was... I don't know if it was my favorite episode you did, but I fucking really liked that one.
So the other guy, who was the naval intelligence officer, he was on the USS Roosevelt when they were filming all that Tic Tac footage. He gets into some shit that's very similar to the Chris Pittman one, with like the way the entities fuck with you. So you got to listen to that. I'll send it to you. It's fucking crazy. Like, and I don't know what it is. Alien, interdimensional shit, psychosis. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't doubt anyone's story. Like, I sat across from Chris, and I have a ton of people that are mutual friends with him because he's a part of the punk rock scene. He wasn't lying to me. Like, you know, I'm a pretty good judge of character. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so whatever happened, it in his head, that fucking shit happened. You know what I mean? So
that's kind of a filter for me too, in real life or on the podcast. I like to think that I'm a pretty good judge of character.
Yeah.
I don't want someone who's just telling some bullshit stories.
Of course.
Like just some silly blowhard fucking guy.
No, I don't
need that bullshit, you know?
There's plenty of podcasts that have that bullshit on it, and you can weed right through it. You know what I mean? I try and have genuine motherfuckers on.
Right.
And, you know, from the worlds that I'm involved with. Same with you. You know what I mean? And that's what's cool, man. So
I think that's actually what my Instagram page says, is like motorcycles, cars, tattoo artists, and the people that make these worlds so special or something like that.
Yeah, that's
what
perfect.
it is. Just interesting people, you know?
Yeah. Because there's so many stories out there. Like,
Are you friends with Long John out in Arizona?
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
But I'm horrible with names, but I think I would remember that name.
You would definitely. He's big in the bike scene out there. He has a tattoo shop.
Okay. Where in Arizona?
He's in Payson.
Okay.
It's like a couple hours north in the mountains of Phoenix. He's really good friends with Charlie. That's kind of how I met him. And that whole like Southwest crew.
Yeah.
But
did you have Charlie on yours?
No, not yet, dude.
You could have him on.
Even before I did the podcast, he wants to do one so bad, but I think I'm going to just do it over the phone with him. My thing is like I like to do them face to face.
It's so much better face to face because you're not stepping on each other. It's like more personable. In life, there's so much that communication that happens subconsciously and non-verbally.
Yes. Yeah.
That you can't get over the phone. Sometimes you can. It just depends on the personality. Like I find sometimes the phone ones are hard, but some of them real easy, you know?
Yeah. And
and you have such a history with Charlie, like
that's the thing.
And he's such a character. He's got no problem. Like
I told him he'd be like one of my exceptions. So I'll probably do it over the phone because I don't want to really wait much longer.
Yeah.
Unless I'm going to see him after Sturgis or in Sturgis, I'm going to just do it over the phone.
Yeah, I'll stop in Arizona. But do me a favor and ask him to get in the story of what he bought when we were with him in this seedy Mexican market in Mexico City. We were in this like a cult market. It was the weirdest place in the world. We're in Mexico City for this bike show. And me and Dan wanted some Santa Muerte statues. And they're like, and the dude's like, we're like, dude, we want some Santa Muerte statues. He's like, our handler, it's not our handler, but he was like kind of like our guide out there. This dude, Juan Pablo, Juan Pablo and Charlie, shout out to them two guys out in Mexico City, Rebel Oilers and Chopper Paradise. These guys are fucking cool motherfuckers. But Juan Pablo used to be like this pro skater out there and worked for Vans and stuff. But we're like, we want to go to get Santa Muerte shit. And his eyes roll back and he huffs. He's like, okay, you got to come to my house first. You got to leave all your money and your passports, leave everything here. Just bring a little bit of money. It's the sketch. You were going to a very sketchy place. So we get there. This is market, right? It's this outdoor market at first. And it's all Christmas shit. I was like, this ain't sketchy, dude. He's like, no. Come back. You got to go back. So you're navigating through all this, like these Christmas decorations, right? Because it's December in Mexico City, but it's like 80 degrees and perfect out. And then you get inside and it's just all weird occult shit. And Charlie procured something that we ended up having to help him hollow out a candle to put it in to get it through customs. I'll let him tell the story if he chooses to tell the story. I'll tell you off mic, you know what I mean? But it's pretty fucking gnarly. And then also they had an animal market. And it was a little bit depressing, but and when you went in there, you'd see these black curtains, and behind black curtains, you'd literally hear like lions and shit. Like you could go buy like a fucking tiger cub. Anything you fucking wanted, you could buy that. Like I was looking at this tub full of fucking sharks, like, you know what I mean? And there's like PETA would have like, any PETA member would have an instant heart attack in this place.
Right.
And I wasn't down with it either because I'm like super love animals, for lack of a better term. And I felt bad being in there, but I'm also like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not in the US. I'm in Mexico fucking City.
Right.
And the dude's like, yeah, don't piss anyone off in here because these aren't, use your imagination about who's running the show back there. And he's like, if you go back in there and you don't buy anything, it's not going to be good. So don't go back there unless you're serious. And I'm like, well, if I buy a tiger cub, can you keep it for me and take care of it, and then I can visit it every year? And he's like, please don't do that. I was like, you didn't say no, motherfucker. You know what I mean? But nah, I would never do that. But anyway, long story short, ask Charlie about that trip because he'll have some funny stories.
All right. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either, but the way I feel about it is like in the world in general, I think the world should be wild and free.
Yeah.
I'm not much a fan for like there's a part of me I'm like, oh yeah, that sucks. But as far as I'm concerned, as long as like one or two of those places exist in the world, I'm into that. Yeah, I'm into knowing that there's some wild shit somewhere that you could
absolutely
still fucking find in this world.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I am not for
I'm not for the fucking captivity of fucking endangered species. But it is what it is, man.
I'm not, 100% against animal abuse in any way, shape, or form. But just in general, the concept that there's still like wildness and fucking pirate shit and fucking crazy shit and fucking, you know what I mean? It's cool, man. I wish there was more in the States, but the government needs to be our parents now and tell us what's safe and what's not, and be over involved in our lives. And I don't even think the general population understands what kind of overstep has happened just in our lifetime. Think about when you're a kid and think about now and how much more government involvement in your life there is, whether it's at local, state, or federal level. Like they're all overstepping grossly and immensely.
Yeah.
And
fuck, dude. Even not in terms of like physical laws, but I mean the overstep in taxes is fucking insane, dude.
I'm gonna have
it's fucking nuts.
I'm gonna have an accountant on at some point because I always
that's an interesting one.
Talk to him about like how could in the 60s or 50s or whatever one person be the breadwinner and support a family of four like no problem. He goes, because the tax codes have changed so immensely and you pay so much more in tax now than you ever did.
Right.
And everyone's like, well, you should pay taxes. It's for this. And I'm like, I'm not against taxes.
Right. There's got to be some taxes.
But when you look,
it's an overreach at this point.
When you look like, you got federal income tax, you got state income tax. Not every state is different. I know you got property tax, you got excise tax on your vehicles, you got sales tax, you got fucking gas tax and tobacco tax and fucking liquor tax and fucking this tax and that tax. And then all the things that are licenses and registrations and things that are taxes that with just different names.
I got a fucking letter in the mail just before I left to come here from the town I live in, town of Huntington on Long Island, fucking sends me a letter saying that if you have a fucking alarm system in your house, you need to get a fucking permit for it for $50 a year now. That's fucking insane, dude.
That's ridiculous.
Just because you fucking have an alarm system at your house.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah. So that pretty much negates any insurance break you get.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. It's fucking insane, dude. Yeah. It's just, it's every time you fucking fart, dude, they want money from you.
Yeah. Like, oh, you need a fart license. Right. Because you're exhuming, gas into the air that's pollution. Yeah.
Right. That's part of the fucking Green Act
methane
now.
tax.
Yeah.
There's a methane tax. So what's been some of your favorite episodes to do that you've done, and what do you got planned for the podcast coming up?
Well, I mean, I guess I'll.
You talked about the candy episode.
Yeah, the candy episode was my favorite. But also, while we're on that topic, I may as well publicly apologize to Walter for not showing up today. Down at
I know, me too. I know. He's like, oh, you assholes could do a podcast, but you couldn't get up here. I was like, I have another engagement to get to that. I'm going to have to cut this short in about 10 minutes. So, just because I usually let him go as long as it wants, but I gotta be somewhere. I gotta be in Boston at 3, so that's why I couldn't go up to Walter's thing either. But shout out to Walter at Kickstart a motorcycle supply in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Also the guy that did the Gypsy Run, and I think we'll do it again and bring it back.
Cheap Thrill Show,
and he's undergoing the same troubles we all are, trying to find new venues. And in the Northeast, it's not as easy as you think. You know what I mean? There's just not big plots of land or venues like there used to be.
Right. And even same thing as everyone else, man. The profit margin in the motorcycle industry is
dude,
it's fucking hard to survive, man.
This is a dumb business, man.
Yeah, it's not a good business.
You do it because you love it, but don't do it expecting, unless you're an asshole and you just rape people. I was like,
right.
Now that I've been doing service and repair here for some years, I see what fucking scumbags like dealerships really are. I'm like, holy shit, dude. They are. You all know you get raped when you go to the fucking dealer, but like you don't know how bad you're getting fucking raped. You know what I mean? Because my boy was coming down from Albany to our party, and he was stopping at a Harley shop somewhere between here and Albany, and I won't name it, and I'll name it. I don't give a fuck, but whatever. But anyway, they wanted $600 to replace a rear tire.
What the
I'm
fuck,
like, dude, no tire, and it's just a normal Harley. It's not like some weird 300 series tire or some crazy shit.
Right.
And I'm like, no tire is over 250, rear tires over 250, $300 max. So they're charging you $300 to mount and balance a tire, dude. That's fucking
It's insane.
robbery.
Like,
We had another dude the same day. He broke his chain or something, and he went to this other place not far from here. Well, a few towns over, but like 20 minutes away, half hour away. And they charged him $218 to replace a Masterlink on his chain. I'm like, dude, do you understand a Masterlink is like $6? And they charge you $200 to do 5 minutes of labor? I'm like, holy shit, dude. I was like, those motherfuckers are thriving because they're fucking
dude, it's amazing how they
and,
stay in business.
Yeah, and they just, Harley is not going to find, there's no shortage of fucking retards that are on Harleys that just pay the dealer. They get, there's some people that get excited, like, oh, I paid $600, or, whatever. I paid this much for this. I'm like, what? You're in a pissing contest about how much you overpaid, dude? Like, come over here to my shop. I'll help you with that. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even do that. Like, I put my head down at night knowing I didn't fuck nobody. You know what I mean?
I used to think that when I had my shop. I'm like, how come fucking morons can't walk in the door like that here? I mean,
and that, you know what? I spend more time educating people and talking people out of dumb shit than I do. That's why I'm a bad business guy. Because, but at the end of the day, hopefully we have customers for life, not just for like some. It's easy to get over on somebody and fucking rape them over the coals like twice, but you're not going to keep that person as a customer. You know what I mean? But you're going to make a lot of money in the meantime. But
that's a good point. I'd imagine if you looked at customers at dealers, I mean, they probably only hold those customers for a year or two, but they have the ability to have that turnover rate.
Yeah.
Because
there's a small shop doesn't.
Literally an asshole walking in the door every minute there.
Yeah. And they have the Harley corporate machine behind them. You know what I mean? In the marketing and like everyone's like, I got to go to the dealer for this. And then if you do have a new bike, they cut you by the balls for a little bit, unless you don't care about warranty shit. Like what I mean? Because little thing you do to your bike, they're going to find a way to make that void the warranty. You know what I mean? But if you leave it stock for 2 years, hey,
Yeah, they fucking run a mafia over there, dude. They really try and bully you into some bullshit, man.
But that's why they can have 15 people working and only like 3 people actually doing work and sustaining like these big, huge buildings and stuff because you're paying for that.
Yeah.
When you go to the dealership for work. But I'm sure you know that. Not you. I'm talking to the general public here. But yeah, so what do you got planned, and what else have you? What have been some of the standout episodes? If someone hadn't listened to your podcast, like what episode would you have them start with, and why?
Dude, I'd probably say listen to Sarah at Candy Bang because it's an episode that everyone could like. Whether it don't even matter what you're into. It's a fucking it's an entertaining episode.
Awesome.
If you're into motorcycles. I'm trying to think of a good one, man. Like Long John out in Arizona, that was a good one. Bare Knuckle Paul, Bare Knuckle Performance, that's a good one. Man, I'm trying to think. It's like so many episodes.
How many do you got? How many do you have?
I also don't want to name ones because I'm sitting on like 10 episodes that I haven't even put out yet.
Yeah.
So I'm trying not to name those.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think.
Are you going to release them weekly or bi-weekly? Or?
So I've been sitting on some of those for so fucking long. I think I'm going to just spit like 2 or 3 a week out for the next few weeks and just until I'm done with them,
Yeah.
And
or just, what do you usually do? Do you do one a week or just?
I try to, man, but the problem is I took 2 really long breaks,
Yeah.
Right now I just took a big break, so.
But if you just
when I'm doing them, they'll be once
if you
a
dole
week.
those out one a week, that gives you more time to collect other ones so that you can just stay on a 1 a week basis.
Dude, I thought about that, but I need the fire lit under my ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
No,
I'm the kind of guy. If I can get lazy, I will. I gotta light my own fire sometimes.
I know. I wish I could still do this weekly, but there's just not enough time in the day right now. But
it's hard, and that's the other thing too. I think it's another thing I might in the future just bend and just do them over the phone.
It makes it easier.
The problem isn't so much that I think a podcast is garbage if it's over the phone, because there's so many that I like, including yours, that'll do that. I'm the problem with that. I fucking need that face to face, that
Would you ever
that
think
back
about
and forth, man?
doing like Zoom or one of those things?
I did do a Zoom episode with a girl from Boston.
Yeah.
That was cool. Zoom is cool. I think that might be a requirement if I do a fucking phone one.
Yeah.
That I got to do it over Zoom. Dude, I'm a face-to-face guy. I'm an old school kind of, I don't know.
I'm trying to work on that right now and try and get it down. Like I did the one with Seth Ferrante, the dude that was the old LSD and psychedelic
that was
dealer.
fucking killer, dude.
I did that one on Zoom.
That might be my favorite one of yours, actually.
So I have the video for that. And Zach was on that too, co-hosting with me from Heavy. But I got to figure out a way to make the video better and like how to get that loaded up. Like that's what I'm saying. I'm not a tech guy, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
right.
if there's any podcast people out there, producers, and want to sign up for the show, and I can't pay you much right now, but if we make this thing big, I'll get you. I'll hook you up. I always hook everyone up. But hit me up.
Yeah.
If you know the video shit and you want to help produce the show, I'll get you on board. And but yeah, so there's no, you don't want to give an exclusive here. Like what's a big one going to be coming up?
Dude, honestly, I'm looking forward to Toe Cutter later today.
Yeah.
I don't know. Another fucking real silly debauchery drunkenness one is.
Those are fun too, man.
Oh yeah,
you got to do
dude.
that. You know what I mean? Because you got to let loose every now and then and do that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I feel like what I like about yours is like mine. Like you'll have some that are just straight interviews with all kinds of different people, and some that are just like totally ridiculous. Like you know what I mean? You got to switch up the format every now and then, keep it interesting. You know?
Well, I'll tell you what. Another personal rule of mine is I don't know how well I'm going to stick to it, but when I do these from here on out, like I'm going to try and be sober because I've ruined them before, just getting so fucked up, dude. I mean, like I take the debauchery to a level where it's like, this is a fucking problem, dude.
Now,
you know,
well, I'll beg to differ on that because people love that shit, dude.
They do.
And as long as you're not fucking up the actual recording.
Right.
Because there was one dude, I was so fucked up here one night. We were doing a Christmas party one and we were doing it live. I was lighting quarter sticks and half sticks of dynamite in my mouth and then throwing them around the shop. And it was fucking bad. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, this one's going to be horrible. And I put it and people loved it.
No, that was a good one.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
But you think it's going to be horrible, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Let me change that. Let me rephrase that. I will drink again. Here's the problem. I've done it with some people and they're not drinking. And I'm just turning it into a fucking drunk disaster.
No.
That's been my mistake.
You can't do that. Yeah. That's
I did that with
I agree.
Someone who you've had on your show. I had on my show, and I fucking crashed my brand new bike leaving his fucking driveway, dude. I mean, it was bad, and he was stone sober.
Yeah. So
Pat from you had Pat and Tim on, right? Yeah. I've had both of them on, but leaving Pat's house, I was fucked up.
No. It's gotta. Everyone's got to be drinking or doing whatever.
Yes.
You can't, or they can be drinking and you can be sober, but it can't work that way with like the drunk host and like the sober guest. I get it. All right. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people like the shenanigan episodes that just get ridiculous because it's fun, you know?
I got a shenanigan.
Because it's like you and your bros having a good time or, you know what I mean?
That's exactly what it is, man.
And some people like feel like they're just listening in and hanging out with you, you know? I like episodes like of other people's podcasts when it's just like off the wall, just ridiculousness. You know what I mean? Everyone's just letting it fly, you know?
You've done a few like roundtable ones. That are just, those are fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, I know. And I'm due for another one. It's been a little while, but we'll get one going. We were going to talk about the summer spectacular or something. You know? And we were just going to review action movies and talk about dumb action movies or something. But we're figuring it out. Like it's hard to get 4 dudes in a room now too. Like you know what I mean? Because everyone's so busy. Like summer, everyone's crazy running around and shit. And vacations and whatnot. But yeah. So. What else, man? What else you got? What you got? Any other trips planned? What I like about yours, though, like it's so rad to have a mobile setup because you travel around the country all the time for different events, and you and your chick just a lot of times just go fucking travel for just to fucking travel. It's fucking great.
Yeah,
and then you can go do all face to face all around the country. Like what do you got planned coming up?
I'm trying to think. After Sturgis, what the fuck was the September one? Where the fuck are we going in September? Oh, dude, I'm going hunting in Colorado.
Oh hell yeah!
So I'll do a thing on
What
that.
kind of hunting?
I drew an elk and a deer tag this year.
Oh hell
So,
yeah, man!
Yeah. I'm fucking looking forward to that.
Let me buy some elk off you, man.
I would have brought some if I had known. I'm not gonna even say. I'll just give it to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully I'll score another elk this year. And,
Yeah, I haven't tried it, but I heard it's fucking
my
awesome.
favorite, dude.
Yeah.
I don't even buy meat for the store, man. I just eat what I hunt. You know,
Yeah,
the only
no,
thing
that's
I'll
great,
buy
man.
is some chicken sometimes. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But yeah, elk is my favorite of them all, man. That's like the fucking luxury of the woods, dude.
Yeah. The Cadillac of game.
Yep. So yeah, I got that coming up, and
How do you get it home? Do you get it just you get it
So-
like butchered up there and then shipped or something?
no, we always butcher it ourselves. Normally, I drive out there. This year, I'm flying, so I'm gonna have to ship it.
Yeah.
Basically, ship it in a big cooler
With, dry
through
ice
the
or something,
airlines
yeah.
with dry ice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll wind up costing you about like $300 or $400 to get it back from Colorado.
But
you know.
you'd spend that if you tried to buy that much meat, you'd be spending way more than that.
Oh yeah, dude. Like even the last elk I got, we split it halfway, and I still got over 100 pounds of fucking meat, dude.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
You know,
They're big fucking animals, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that elk probably went, you know, and that was on the smaller side of bulls, but that thing probably still went almost 700 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, so you're looking at like fucking 350 pounds of that is meat.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So it's
Yeah, it's crazy,
a fucking
yeah.
lot.
But and
You know?
obviously we're not vegetarian, right? But I am like not down with like the factory farm and shit and
Yeah.
like if I buy meat, I always buy like grass raised, grass fed,
Yeah.
free range shit. It costs a lot more, but I just
It does, man.
But it's better for you. It's better for the animal, like I guess you know what I mean, and fucking
Yeah, I'm not, I don't even really, I don't know. I don't bullshit much about it. I like all that aspect of it, but I mean, I love it so much, just hunting and getting
Yeah,
out in the
yeah.
woods and all that, man.
Yeah,
Man, I couldn't even care if they said that it's fucking bad for the environment. I'm still gonna do it. I fucking just love it, man.
Yeah,
you know. And quite honestly, at this point, I'm so fucking used to the wild game that like when I eat a store bought steak, it fucking tastes funny to me, man.
Sure,
You know,
I can
like
imagine,
my
yeah.
tongue is like not even there anymore.
But the nutrients in a wild,
Oh, dude, you can't even compare it.
So much more nutrients.
can't even
and so
compare
much
it.
better, yeah. And
Yeah.
None of all that
It's
bullshit.
funny too. Like at the turn of the century, when people started having to turn to the farming thing, because like even the cities and stuff, that shit was all fed by like basically the buffalo that we were killing. You know.
Yeah.
It was hard to get the public to eat beef when it first became a thing.
Yeah.
Generally, people didn't want to do it, man.
Yeah.
They were. It's a weird thing. When your body's just used to that meat, you don't really want to switch back.
No.
So yeah, and I like the other aspects of it and getting away from that whole factory farming thing and all that
Yeah.
bullshit. But the bottom line also is we all can't just live on wild game.
No,
you know?
no. I mean, unless you live in the woods and there's plenty around.
There's just
yeah.
not enough to sustain the population
Yeah,
anymore.
no,
you know?
yeah. Oh, I know what you're saying.
But-
if everyone went to that, you
Right.
can't do it.
You just
Yeah, of
can't.
course, yeah.
But I like
That's like
you
the
know,
electric car thing. If everyone went to electric cars today,
that's another scam they're pushing on the public, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
no. Now, do I agree with the concept of electric vehicles? Fuck
yes.
yeah, dude.
And we should
But-
sprinkle that in.
Yeah.
It's cool that they're here.
But people,
But you can't just
everyone just
switch
has
to it.
Yeah, and everyone has these gut reactions like, oh, it's so much better. I'm like, do you understand how much goes into the fucking mining of the
Right.
materials?
Tell the fucking 7-year-old kid in Africa that's fucking mining your cobalt and lithium.
yeah.
Like, dude, tell them
But
that.
never mind the machines to do all that.
Yep.
Take so much fucking diesel and fucking whatever. It's like nothing is like 100% fucking,
Right.
you know.
It's not clean, dude.
No.
By time it,
And then right now, I'm sure they're going to perfect the battery stuff more.
Right.
But right now, you're going to have landfills of fucking batteries that are like car size, but like a Tesla battery is like the size of the fucking car, right? I
Yeah.
guess, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's
what
like
are you going to do with
20%
all
of the
those?
car.
Yeah. What are you going to do with all those? Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's like, there's a lot more to every fucking knee gut fucking reaction, that you think is good, then you got to really investigate it. And,
Right.
and that's the problem with the media that we have nowadays is that they push agendas and they don't tell you the whole story. They just push their agenda that they're told to push.
Right.
And it's like, and then you look at crazy things, and I'm not even going to be in like conspiracy stuff, but Pelosi bought so much fucking Tesla stock the day before fucking Congress put it in, or fucking Biden put it in, that all the Washington government fleet is gonna turn electric.
Yep.
You know, it's like there's so much insider bullshit to all this that you have to wade through it. You know,
Yeah.
Not to get on a rant fucking podcast. You know what I mean? Just talk about good time shit, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it's just do your diligence out there, people, and fucking don't just fucking buy what they feed you. Fucking do a little work. You know,
Yeah.
it's your job as a citizen to fucking do that shit and keep these motherfuckers honest, because we ain't been doing a good job. And look where it's got us. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't care if you're left, right, DR, whatever, dude. Everyone's fucking us.
Yeah,
You know?
for sure, man.
You know, so
Yo, Jesse James actually, he did an interesting little fucking post, maybe a year or so, about it. He went to one of these fucking electric races, like where they race electric Indy cars.
yeah.
And he basically, I guess because his fucking status or whatever, got invited there. And he did this fucking whole post about how bullshit it is. He basically like blew them up.
Yeah.
Because the whole fucking parking lot is filled with cat generators, burning diesel all day just to charge those fucking race car batteries.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck are we doing here? You got a bunch of fucking rich people up there in the stands thinking this is so cool and clean.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's like one of those fucking, just as long as it's not in my backyard, you know, it's not a fucking problem. But
Exactly.
it's like, dude, I don't know, it's all bullshit. I like Tesla personally. If I could afford one, I'd be fucking driving one. But I'd be driving one because it saved me fucking money, not because I think I'm fucking
but what we're saying, though,
doing
like,
right by the environment right now.
Yeah.
You know.
And then
Just is what it is.
What made me even get to that is like the way you said, if everyone went to try and survive on wild game, we couldn't do it. If everyone went to electric today, our electrical grids could not fucking take it.
No,
you know what
yeah,
I mean?
that's the other thing. Our
power grid
infrastructure
that isn't
Yeah.
set up to. If everyone electric today, we'd be we'd be in blackouts. You know, because the power grid can't handle it. You know?
Yep.
So anyway, but dude, I don't mean to cut this short, but I gotta take off. But it was so fucking good seeing you, bro.
Yeah.
And it was good that we got to do this in person. And we'll do another one. You know, we'll do a follow up down the road when we both have some more stories and whatnot. But so where can people find you? Give some plugs, man.
I mean, the only real plug I got is the Crazy Gentleman podcast.
And that's on every platform, right?
Anywhere, anywhere you listen to podcasts, you could find it. And the only social media I do is Instagram, and that's at The Crazy Gentleman. I got a website, The Crazy Gentleman Podcast.
Yep. I'll put all this in the show notes so people don't got to remember. Just they'll go there and be able to click on it.
Yeah, but it's pretty simple, man. You're just The Crazy Gentleman everywhere, you know. And find me wherever the fuck I'm roaming around. You know?
And what was the impetus behind the name, The Crazy Gentleman?
It was my name, just like trying to fucking make an Instagram name, which is a whole nother fucking stupid story. I'm not even a big fan of social media. I like it now, but I really only got it to start meeting girls. That's a whole nother fucking story. But
see, I like the honesty.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna fucking bullshit you.
Yeah.
And I literally am just sitting in front of my fucking computer one day and just trying to spitball some names.
Yeah.
I actually had another name when I started. But after a couple weeks, I just did the Crazy Gentleman thing.
Yeah.
It's just some fucking stupid idea. I didn't plan on doing a show with it or anything like that. You know?
And dude, I forgot to
Just
even
stuck.
I forgot to ask you the main question. Like, what even got you on the road to like being into motorcycles and shit?
Well, it started in that skateboard, like punk rock kind of scene, and then I got into BMX bikes after and during skateboards, and I started building a lot of bikes for local people.
Yeah.
And just started racing dirt bikes. Same thing, kept building them and working on them. And I got fucked up one night. I was out one night. I was riding sport bikes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you ever heard of the band Brand New. So the band Brand New, the bass player Garrett, he's from like a couple towns away. We kind of grew up close together.
Okay.
And him and his brother, he's got a twin brother. They got these Buells that were all chopped up and shit. So we were all hanging out one night,
Street Fighter
like
style?
Street Fighter styles. Yeah. We were all hanging out one night, and I took one for a ride. It was the first Harley engine anything I ever rode on.
Yeah.
And I fell in love. I sold my fucking CBR like a week later and got really fucked up and just started fucking buying shit on eBay and built my first bike.
Yeah, man.
And then like within that year, I had bought my first TIG welder, my first lathe, and just like started really acquiring more equipment than I needed when I was doing cars. I built a bunch of race cars. I built a car for Speed Vision for the Pink's episode. You know, where they race for pink slips on the drag strip. And so I was like kind of involved in the car scene.
So you're already mechanically inclined for doing the car shit,
full blown,
and then the
with all
BMX
that.
shit.
I still run into people that I built bikes for fucking 20 years ago. But,
isn't it awesome when you're doing the bike still on the road? Or
well, that's how you know you're doing a good job too. That you're not, I'm not ducking people. I don't fucking, people have love for you 20 years later. You know?
Absolutely, man.
So anyway, long story short, I got fucking hooked on the bikes once I was able to play with something, man. And fabricate something. And then like within a year later, it just like transitioned from doing all that to just Harleys and choppers, like heavy. At this time too, this was like, I think I built my first bike in 2005. It was just when things were about to crash, you know? And I didn't know it. I was too dumb and stupid, and I just stuck with it and just kept it moving, you know?
But, it doesn't matter because the shit we like wasn't cool during the height of it.
No.
Like we weren't building the wide tire, fucking long, unrideable
My
bikes.
first bike was a wide tire. It was.
But like,
I didn't know any better.
People getting these like $65,000 for these fucking bikes.
Oh, it's crazy, dude.
And I got one right back there that was like one of the Choppers Unlimited, like $35,000 bikes. My boy bought that for $6,000.
Yep.
It's got an S&S motor and shit in it. I was like, I'd buy that bike for $6,000 too. Pull that drivetrain, fucking put it in a more fucking
and that's what's happening with all
drive.
those.
Put it in a nimble frame. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah, man, fuck yeah.
Yeah, and now I just cherry pick. I'll do a bike or two a year now. Like, maybe one for myself, one for a customer. Or I'll just do like a cool project.
That's the way to do it, man. Not be beholden to anyone. Just do what you want and fucking.
It's not how I make my living anyway. So not my real living. I'm a locomotive mechanic, which is pretty cool too, and lets me travel a lot and shit like that. You know. So trains pay the bills. But
and they're not going anywhere.
And the bikes I just have fun with. You know.
And that's a specialized thing, so you could work anywhere doing that.
Yeah, kinda.
Anywhere there's a train.
Right. So it gives me a lot of freedom.
Yeah. Well, fuck yeah, man. So, well, we got to have you on again and continue this, dude. And I appreciate you coming in. And I know we're all hungover and fucking whatnot. So I appreciate you taking the whip over. Let's do this soon. And everyone go check out the Crazy Gentleman podcast wherever you get podcasts and give them a follow, give them a like, give them a good review. And yeah, man.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah,
Thank
dude.
you so much, man.
Till the next time, man.
Hell yeah.
Plato's Closet wants to help you kick off your summer in style. Whether you have plans for the beach, mountains, concerts, or wherever, Plato's Closet has the sundresses, shorts, tanks, sandals, tees, and styles you need for up to 70% off regular retail prices. And if you need help to fund those adventures, sell us your items for cash. Adventure awaits this summer, and it starts with cool styles at Plato's Closet. With 14 locations in the Atlanta area, find your nearest location at platoscloset.com.
What makes our communities special is the way people rally together to help each other during a crisis. And today, what more and more neighbors are fighting against is hunger. Too many of our fellow Georgians are struggling to put food on the table. That's why the Atlanta Community Food Bank unites 29 North Georgia counties to fight hunger. Please give what you can at acfb.org and help a neighbor in need today.